So, questions from you guys? Has anybody got anything for us? Tessa. 16 from the problems? Sure. So I notice that this is an SSS situation. I can tell that just from the fact that I have no angle measures given. First thing I want to do is make sure that this situation is possible. So I'm going to check that the leg plus leg is greater than the hypotenuse, which it is. We have to be careful with that because not always is the hypotenuse going to be listed last. So that's good. So let's go ahead and do our law of cosines. We're going to solve for the biggest angle first. So angle y is going to equal cosine inverse of 12 squared minus 10 squared minus 5 squared over negative 2 times 10 times 5. And we went through and got the formula of how I went straight to here, right? Okay. It was a day or two ago, so it's like, no, we did that, didn't we? I couldn't remember. Super important here, when I'm typing this into my calculator, you have to be very careful. I like to use the fraction command, alpha y equals, and then option 1. That way I don't have to do any parentheses. I can just now type it in exactly like it looks like on my sheet of paper. And that alleviates a lot of, oops, press the wrong button there. Order of operations stuff that I have to worry about, making sure my parentheses are set. So again, you don't have to type it in with the fraction bar, but woo, I think it makes it a lot easier. So I get 101.90 or 100.95. So after I found the biggest angle, I'm now doing an SSA situation. Oh no! So to avoid any ambiguous case, I'm going to now find the smallest angle next. So I'm going to write sine y over y equals sine x over x. So I'll cross multiply, divide by 12, and then do the sine inverse. Tess, is it okay if I just kind of skate through that algebra there? Okay. We did it a bunch before in the homework. I assume it's probably okay for us, but I figured I should ask. Where did my mouse go? There you are. So sine inverse alpha y equals option 1, 5 times sine. And I'm going to use the ants command so I get all the decimal places without having to type them all in. Again, probably fine to use your rounded answer, but I like accuracy. So I get 24.15 for that one. And then my angle Z then is just going to be 180 minus angle Y minus angle X. So 54.90 there. Tessa, does that feel okay? So the big thing there, remembering for the SSA situation, one, you have to check that it's possible. And then it's biggest angle first with the law of cosines, smallest angle second with the law of sines, then just triangle sum theorem to get your third angle. If you do that, you don't ever run into any problems if you use that order. If you go outside of that order, boy, you can run into a bunch of mess with ambiguous cases, and you have to be really, really careful. So I prefer to just, I'm going to know the order, use the order where I don't have to think too hard about, oh no, is this an ambiguous case? And then like, which set of answers do I want? And it's just a mess. So by choosing this order, we can avoid all the mess, which is lovely, right? Make my life easier. Can I do it the same way every time? That's what I'm looking for. What else do you guys have? Anything else we want to talk about? Happy to do more, or we can just talk about concepts or like how to do something. Any of that stuff is fine. Doesn't have to be a specific homework question, I suppose. Yeah, Hannah? Yeah. So like we've talked about 5 different situations. Three of which are always just going to be one triangle as possible. The SSS, it's either 0 or 1, but the 0 check is really easy. It's the side-side angle one that's where we have to be a little bit careful. So the first thing you need to check is the size of the given angle. Right angle. So if it's greater than or equal to 90, we have 2 outcomes. You can have 0 triangles or 1 triangle. The 0 triangles happen if the, let's see, the side opposite the given angle is less than the other given side. I should say less than or equal to. That's impossible. Otherwise, it's just 1 triangle. So anything else is just going to be 1. Then the other case that we have is when the given angle is acute. So we're either going to have 1 triangle, or we can have that ambiguous case. If the side opposite the given angle is greater than or equal to the other side, then 1 triangle, no matter what. Otherwise, so if the side opposite is the smaller of the 2, then we're in this ambiguous case. So say that angle A, and side B are the givens. To figure out whether I'm going to have 0, 1, or 2, I'm going to set up a law of sines, and I'm going to solve for sine B, not angle B, but sine B. So when I cross multiply and divide, I have this, and this number, whatever that comes out to in my calculator, is going to tell me whether I have 0, 1, or 2 triangles. So if that number is greater than 0, greater than 1, there's no triangle possible. If it's equal to exactly 1, there's 1 triangle possible. And if it's equal to something less than 1, I get 2 triangles possible. Does that feel good there? So again, the situation where we're unsure of what's happening is very narrow, right? I need an SSA situation. I need an acute, the angle given has to be acute, and then the side opposite the given angle has to be the smaller of the 2 givens. Does that feel good? Okay. Great. Everybody otherwise feel good on questions then? Okay. Let's take a minute and just talk about the test format here. All right, let's put a bullet point or something here. So we have 4 questions. Solve the triangle. I have 1 question where 2 triangles are possible. So solve them both. So one of those, I'm telling you it's the ambiguous case where it's 2 triangles. Can you get me both set of answers for that? Two questions where I ask you to find the area of the triangle. And then I have 2 like story problems where we're just going to be using the law of sines or cosines to determine a length inside of a story problem. One of which you'll recognize as a problem that we've already done that was like an incredible pain in the butt that we can make life much easier on using the law of sines or cosines. So I think this other question showed up on a previous test or the same version, a different version of it. You had to like solve a system and it was like a big hassle. But using law of sines is like, oh, all right, it's not much to do there. Okay. So that's the test format. Again, the test is going to be, what's today? Thursday. So Wednesday next week, right? Because we don't have school on Monday. So A day is Tuesday. So B day is Wednesday, right? Oh, Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday next week. Thank you. Yep, you're right. Okie doke. All right. Well, let's get after this then, huh? Look here. My stack. Let's do this real quick too.